Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeremy Sadowski, and I'm here to bring you exciting 2019 Maricosta Mustang varsity football. Tonight, the Mustangs take on arch rival Redondo right here at the Wall. Redondo is head coached by Matt Ballard, and the Seahawks and Mustangs enter tonight's contest with identical overall records at 6-3 and league records at 3-1. With Palos Verdes defeating Peninsula this afternoon 44-0 and going undefeated in Bay League action and winning their 8th straight Bay League title, this game right here is for second place in Bay League play. And also, it's very important for seeding in Division 6 because both the Mustangs and the Seahawks are vying for that higher seed in the Division 6 playoffs. Even if playoff seeding wasn't at stake, Costa Redondo is always a big matchup because these two schools are so close. These guys have grown up literally right next door to each other, and you'll see a bunch of alumni coming back on both sides to witness their team hopefully defeat the other. In addition, this is senior night here at Maricosta, so the Mustang seniors are definitely pumped up for their last regular season home game. Fans, I'd like to remind you to stay tuned at halftime for a very special halftime presentation of the 11th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk. It was quite an experience for me. I got to meet legendary Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda. So fans, please stay tuned for halftime for that inspiring conversation with Tommy. Family and friends are getting ready to honor the Maricosta Mustang varsity seniors. Let's go down to the field.
Now for the football team. Luca Ruda, joined by parents Kathy and Ken. David Bogdanowicz, joined by Karini and Michael Bogdanowicz and sister Charlotte. Bryce Carlisle, joined by mom Bonnie Carlisle and sister Brooke. And extended family and friends. John Darcy, joined by parents Susan and Sean Darcy, grandparents Mary and Dee Stern, and Aunt Terry Lodge. Jack Donahue, joined by parents Liz and Tom, and brother Luke. Hank Dunlap, joined by parents Stephanie and Steve Dunlap. Jacob Elson, joined by Hillary Kaumakai, Jeff Isaacs, Chris Elson, and Ike, and Maury. Jackson Fisher, joined by parents Lorene and Corey Fisher, Grandma Ellen Oye, and Aunt Donna Sonoto.
I went to Redondo, but I got some Cookson too. I have to support them. But Redondo's on top for me.
Wyatt Flake, joined by parents MJ and Tim. Chase Hardy, joined by parents Charlene and Bill Hardy, sisters Christina and Candace. Rashad Lawrence, joined by mom Latoya Perry, sisters Journey, Jayla, and Dee. Sam Michael, joined by parents Julie and Jeff Michael, brother Charlie, and brother Henry, grandparents Frank and Hilda, and John and Karen Westlake. The Fuel family from Seattle also. Luke Personius, joined by parents Jennifer and Tim Personius. Vincent Real, joined by parents Jill and Sam Real. Diego Osterling Tobertovian, taking a picture with Dylan Guerrero. Kian Tofigi with dad Aria Tofigi.
This is your little one too. No, this is the little one.
Last but not least, Luke Weaver with parents Lisa and John Weaver and sister Ashley. That's it for our seniors. Let's give them a rousing applause.
Welcome back, fans. Senior night is always special here at Maricosta, as former Mustangs always return for the festivities versus arch rival Redondo. I have many classic Redondo stories, but my personal favorite would be when I played in the late 80s. Some students from Redondo decided they wanted to pull a prank on Costa. So in the middle of the night, prior to the big Costa Redondo matchup, a few students came over and wrote Redondo in the middle of the field at Waller Stadium. If time permits, I'll get into some more classic Costa Redondo stories as the captains are meeting at midfield for the Mustangs. Number 30, David Bogdanowicz. Number 55, Rashad Lawrence. Number 63, Hank Dunlap, and number 2, Jackson Fisher. The Mustangs have won the toss and have deferred to the second half. The Mustangs will defend the west end zone to start tonight's contest, as the captains wish each other good luck in the Battle of the Beach. At stake is the surfboard, which became a rivalry trophy when Matt Ballard took over the Redondo Union football program a few years back. Of course, on the surfboard has the scores of all of the Redondo Costa matchups in the past. And here comes your 2019 Maricosta Mustangs, led by the seniors in their final home regular season game. The Mustangs are out in their all-black uniforms for the first time this season, and the Seahawks are wearing their all-white uniforms. The last few games, both teams have worn their home uniforms, so that has changed this season as the Mustangs decided to go with the all-black. Thomas Southey is set to kick off for the Mustangs. It is a high end-over-ender, taken about the 2, dropped, and then picked up by the Seahawks is Alex Wonderly, the junior, able to get a nice return past the 20, where the Seahawks will start tonight's contest. At quarterback for Redondo's number 7, Daniel Webb. And he's going to take it himself on the quarterback keeper, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. Of course, Daniel Webb is the senior, 6'1", 175-pound quarterback for Redondo. Picked up a few yards on that carry. Webb back to pass. He nearly had it picked off, threw it into double coverage, and Bryce Carlisle nearly came up with the tipped interception. Coach Ray Lee, of course, a Redondo alum, coaching against his team here at Maricosta, calling the defenses for the Mustangs. Flag on the play. I didn't think there was too much contact, but the officials disagreed with me as pass interference is called against the Mustangs. 4 receiver set, man in motion into an offset pistol eye formation. Webb fakes the handoff, takes it himself, gets a couple yards on the play. Lawrence in on the tackle for the Mustangs. Bring up a 2nd and 7 situation for Redondo. Trips left shotgun. Mustangs showing blitz. They back off of it. Webb throws it out to his left. There was no receiver in the vicinity. Bringing up a 3rd and 7 for the Seahawks. Trips left shotgun. Webb back to pass. He's throwing it to his right and out of bounds. Good coverage by the senior Jackson Fisher on the play. So the Mustangs were able to recover from that pass interference call and force a fourth down punting situation for the Seahawks. Richard kicked back to receive the punt, muffed it, then recovered it for a loss on the return. So with 10 minutes, 16 seconds, the Mustangs will start their first possession from their 16-yard line. Whitney back to pass, a little running back screen to the right, picks up nice yardage. Bryce Carlisle on that play for the Mustangs. He's done a great job filling in for Cage Gagan, and Ryan Moreno have been hurt this season. Offset right, pistol eye formation. The handoff goes to the tailback, Carlisle. Might have gotten a couple yards on that play for the Mustangs. 2nd and 7. Man in motion from right to left into a trips left formation. Whitney throws it to his left and completes it to number 11, senior Kian Tofigi. Coach Don Morrow, of course, is calling the offensive plays once again this season for the Mustangs. Trips right shotgun. Man in motion. Whitney back to pass. He throws it over the middle, completes it to Richard Kick, who ducks under a tackle attempt and then carries another man about 5 yards to about the Redondo 42-yard line. Big pickup for the Mustangs. First down. Sam Whitney has been deadly accurate all season long for the Mustangs at quarterback. Trips right. Man in motion. Whitney back to pass. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to take it himself and slide down to avoid the hit. Good job by quarterback Whitney to get what he could and not take any punishment. Of course, Coach Don Morrow was a quarterback himself at Aviation High School and at Cal State Northridge prior to Cal State Northridge getting rid of their football program. For receiver set, man in motion. Second man in motion. And a penalty flag on the play. They're going to call a delay of game against the Mustangs. The first man in motion got set. The second man in motion took off. However, it was too much time. Trips right shotgun. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it to the left, intended for Thomas Southey, just out of his reach. Mustangs looking to continue this drive. 3rd down and about 7 to go for the Mustangs. Whitney rolling to his right, throwing to his right, and completing to number 11, Kian Tofigi, to about the Redondo 26-yard line. First down, Mustangs. Another great job by quarterback Whitney as we see Jackson Fisher come in on the Wildcat at quarterback for the Mustangs. He takes it to the left and is stopped in the backfield by Redondo. Offset right, pistol eye formation. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it to his right and complete it again to a wide open receiver. This time it's Jackson Fisher. I can't believe he got that wide open. The Redondo defense doesn't want to get beat deep, obviously, as they have given up 2 wide open underneath routes so far to start this contest. Whitney back to pass again, and this time it's deflected. The Seahawk defensive line is able to knock that ball right back down to quarterback Whitney. Coach Morrow calling in that offensive play. 4 receiver set for the Mustangs. Man in motion from left to right into a trips right formation. Whitney back to pass. He attempts a slant pattern to the left, which is knocked down once again. Have not seen any passes knocked down, and that will be a turnover on downs for the Mustangs as quarterback Webb takes it himself, this time around the right side, before getting stopped by Lawrence on the play. 4 receivers set. Mustang line was shifting prior to the snap. Let's see what the penalty is. It is going to be a false start versus Redondo, so that little shift by the Mustang defensive line, called by defensive coordinator Ray Lee, did its job. 4 receivers set. Daniel Webb back to pass. This time he throws it over the middle and completes it to Drew Wilson, the senior tight end. Is able to pick up a first down there for the Seahawks. 4 receivers set. Webb fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself and get tackled by Carlisle and Dunlap. Picked up about 3 yards on the carry. Trips left, Webb rolling to his right, completes it to his right, and then is met immediately by cornerback Jackson Fisher. He timed that one perfectly. Right as the ball got there, so did Fisher. 4 receivers set. Seahawks in shotgun. Webb throwing it deep down the middle, intended for number 13, Robert Baker. The junior receiver was not able to come up with that, so it's another 4th down situation. Seahawks offense remains on the field. They shift into a punt formation. We've seen this from the Mustangs a lot this season. A lot more last season, but we've seen it this season also. As the ball is down, that little shift helps prevent any returns. So with 2 minutes and 27 seconds, the Mustangs will start their possession deep in their own territory. Whitney fakes the handoff, goes deep down the right-hand side, intended for the sophomore Cale Marsh. He's broken up nicely by Redondo on that play. Pistol formation. This time the handoff goes up the middle. Not much yardage on that play for Bryce Carlisle. As we see legendary Mustang Stuart Sellers down on the sideline, number 79, part of the first championship team here at Maricosta in 1993. And Whitney is able to scramble out of the pocket, and then somehow Kian Tofigi makes an incredible diving catch for the Mustangs to pick up the first down. Great job there by Whitney, eluding the rush, and then by Kian Tofigi diving for that catch. Whitney back to pass, little wide receiver screen set up. That's Southie, got some great blocks by Tofigi, and Lawrence on the play. He's still on his feet, and he will get into Seahawk territory to the 26-yard line. Huge gainer there for the Mustangs. Trips right, Whitney rolling right, he's throwing right. He has a man, and it's incomplete, intended for Cale Marsh once again. The sophomore has definitely had a sensational sophomore year, as the Mustangs will call timeout here in the first quarter. No score. Coach Morrow definitely wants to try to call up a good play here to get some points on the board before the end of the first quarter. Trips left shotgun. Whitney back to pass. He's throwing it deep down the right-hand side. He has a man, and it is broken up at the last second. That was Jackson Fisher, the intended receiver. He nearly pulled that one in for a touchdown. However, it will be 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. 4 receivers set, man in motion, left to right into a trips right formation. Whitney back to pass. He's throwing it to his left, intended for Thomas Southey. Incomplete. That will bring up a 4th down field goal situation for the Mustangs. Thomas Southey on to attempt a 44-yard field goal. The snap is high. The hold is down. A kick is just going to be short, however, and the score remains knotted up at zeros here in the first quarter. Handoff goes to number 11 for the Seahawks. That's Darrell West III. First time we've seen West carry the ball tonight for the Mustangs. And that should do it for the first quarter of play. There's no score here in the Battle of the Beach. Tonight's trivia question, brought to you by Skechers, is: what Redondo alum went on to become a famous musician in the 1980s? To answer tonight's trivia question, log on to the Maricosta High School football players group page on Facebook, and the first person to answer the question correctly will receive a point. The person with the most points at the end of the season will receive a pair of shoes courtesy of longtime Mustang football sponsor Skechers. So again, a classic Costa Redondo matchup here at the Wall is scoreless through the first quarter. Webb back to pass, and he completes it to John Lynch, the senior wide receiver. 4 receivers set. Webb fakes the handoff, now is just scrambling out, trying to make something out of a broken play there. It appeared that he was expecting to hand it off, but wasn't able to do so. Picked up about three or so yards on the play. 4 receivers set. Webb back to pass. He throws it out to his left and completes it, this time to Robert Baker, number 13 for the Seahawks. That should set up a 3rd and about 5 situation here for Redondo. Trips right shotgun. Webb back to pass, and they're going to blow this one dead. A pre-snap penalty, false start versus the Seahawks will march them back. So that will be a 3rd down and long situation now for Redondo. Trips right, Webb back to pass. He's throwing it deep down the middle, intended for Marquise Alexander. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by the safety, Bryce Carlisle. Will bring up another 4th and long situation here for the Seahawks. Seahawks in punt formation. It's a high kick taken at about the 28-yard line by Richard Kick. Will get past the 40, where the Mustangs will start their first possession in the second quarter. Trips right, slight motion. Whitney back to pass. He throws it to the motion man, who was Kian Tofigi. Pass is incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Trips right shotgun. Whitney throws it to his left to Thomas Southey. However, it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. That's the 3rd time tonight Whitney has had a ball batted down. I don't think he's had a ball batted down in the previous 9 games. As we see a timeout, Seahawks. So again, this is a very tight contest to start. 9 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the first half. No score. Whitney starts to roll to his left, avoids the rush twice. He throws it on the run, and he completes it. Kian Tofigi was able to get his feet in bounds, at least one of them. I can't tell if he got one or two because it was right along the Mustang sideline. However, that was a catch and a Mustang first down. Trips right shotgun. Seahawks showing blitz. Whitney throws it to his right, and making another great catch is Cale Marsh, and he was able to tiptoe 1 foot in bounds. So Whitney completed nice passes to both sidelines on back-to-back plays. First one to Tofigi, the second one to Marsh. Tight trips left formation for the Mustangs. Whitney back to pass. He throws it over the middle and making another nice diving catch. His second, or actually his third diving catch of the night was Kian Tofigi. He had that one incredible one where he was horizontal, the one by the sideline, and then now this one as Jackson Fisher is back in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation. Fakes to the right, goes up the middle and to the left for a nice little gainer there for the Mustangs and a first down. Whitney back in at quarterback. 4 receivers set, man in motion from right to left into a trips left formation. Whitney throwing it deep down the middle and completing it to the senior Jackson Fisher for a Mustang touchdown. Great job there all around for the Mustang offense. You had the Mustang offensive line giving quarterback Whitney all the time he needed. Let's take another look at this play as the Mustangs go into that motion. And the middleman, which was the middleman of the trips formation, Fisher, goes right down the middle of the field and is able to pull in a nice catch for the Mustangs touchdown. Southie in to kick the extra point for the Mustangs. Kick is up high, straight, and it is good. So the Mustangs draw first blood tonight here in the Battle of the Beach, leading the Seahawks 7-0. Southie kicks it off short but high, taking it about the 10-yard line, and a nice return prior to being taken down by Hunter Jepson. Nice return there by John Leonardo for the Seahawks. Seahawks will have good field position to start this drive from their own 35-yard line. Shotgun formation. Webb pump fakes to the left, now throws it deep to the left and completes it. An incredible catch there by John Lynch over Charlie Kohler. A flag is on the play. That should be declined. It looked like it was pass interference. Pass interference against the Seahawks. What? Oh my God, it looks like they're marking off the additional 15 yards after the catch. I can't even believe that call by the referee. It should be either taking the play, the result of the play, which they would have, not given them an additional 15 yards, as Redondo runs it around the left, gains a few more yards. Costa coaching staff is definitely upset after that call, giving them an additional 15 yards. This time the handoff goes to the back. Cale Nielsen, the 5'11", 190 fullback, picks up enough yardage for a Seahawk first down. Seahawks in shotgun. Webb fakes the handoff, and his pass is knocked down. So that's the fourth knocked down pass we've seen this evening. 3 by the Redondo defense and 1 now by the Costa defense. Webb takes the snap. He's back to throw. He's throwing it deep to the left into the end zone, out of the reach of John Lynch. Incomplete. Coach Morrow getting ready for the Mustangs' next offensive possession. Four receivers set for the Seahawks. Webb back to pass. He is going to throw it over the middle and incomplete. Triple coverage. It looks like there might have been pass interference on this one. The officials discussing the play. Perhaps it might have been offensive interference. Let's see what the call is going to be. And it is defensive pass interference versus the Mustangs. Now they got to figure out where to mark the ball and what down it is. As Webb takes the ball and will run it himself around the left side, inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. And it's the officials. This is the same crew that officiated the Maricosta Palos Verdes game where there were some controversial calls, and so far there's been some controversial calls on both sides. So I guess it's evening out so far. Offset right, pistol eye formation. Webb is going to take it himself, and he is going to get stopped short. It is 4th down. Did he get enough for the first down? Mustangs don't think he did. However, Redondo does, and so does the referee, which is the only one that really counts. First down and goal from the 2-yard line. Offset right, pistol eye formation. Webb takes it again himself and will get into the end zone for a Seahawks touchdown. So the Seahawks were able to answer the Mustangs touchdown with one of their own after they were aided by a questionable pass interference call, which was tacked on to the completed pass. Baker set to kick off for the Seahawks. The score is knotted up here at 7 in the second quarter. It's a high end over-ender taken at about the 1-yard line by Bryce Carlisle. He had to reach up for that one, and he will get to about the 26-yard line. Good return on the play by the senior Bryce Carlisle. Mustangs will start from their own 26-yard line. Trips left. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it over the middle and tipped and intercepted by number 3, Anthony Talley. The ball was tipped, and then Talley made an incredible diving interception. Trips left shotgun for the Seahawks. Definitely a change in momentum here after that weird pass interference call. Coach Ray Lee trying to get his defense back in order after giving up that touchdown last possession. Trips right, shotgun formation for Redondo. Webb looking to the sideline for a possible audible. Webb fakes the handoff. He's going to get wrapped up. Maybe he shouldn't have made that audible, as number 63, Hank Dunlap, just throws him down. It appeared that Webb was going to take it himself on a quarterback keeper after he faked the handoff, but he sort of ran backwards and to the side and right into the arms of 63, senior Hank Dunlap. Big play by Dunlap and the Mustang defense, trying to gain some momentum back. Shotgun formation. Webb again looking to the sideline, shifting to a pistol formation. However, too much looking over to the sideline by the Seahawks. Will be a delay of game as we see former Seahawk Ray Lee calling the defensive calls for the Mustangs. A little receiver screen over the middle picks up a nice chunk of yardage. That was Drew Wilson, the big tight end, able to get lost in the confusion across the middle. 4th down, shift into the punt formation, and this time the ball is going to go through the end zone. So they were looking to a little pooch to trap the Mustangs deep in their own territory, but that didn't work as the Mustangs will start from their own 20-yard line. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it to his left and to his right and complete it to Bryce Carlisle, maybe a yard or so on the pickup. Coach Don Morrow calling in the offensive play. Penalty flag on the play. It appears the referee is counting the players on the field. However, there are 11 Mustangs on the field, and he is counting, appears to have counted 12. Now all the players are counting themselves, and the referee counts again. It looks like he came up with 12 again. He must have went to Redondo thinking that there were 12 men on the field. Because I know if he would have went to Costa, he would have been at least able to count to 11, as the players are obviously upset. And I can't believe the other officials are letting the referee call 12 men on the field, as the referee is adamantly telling the players and his fellow officials that there are 12 men. Is the 12th man Mr. Momentum? Hopefully so, as Coach Morrow calls a timeout to get an explanation. Now he wants to talk to the other officials, because anyone with any kind of common sense can see that there were 11 men on the field. Wow, even Coach Ballard would have to agree there were 11 men on the field. But Coach Ballard is definitely shocked as anybody else is, as the Mustangs lose 5 yards, 2nd and 15 now. 4 receivers set. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it across the middle and complete it to number 7, Richard Kick, who gives a nice little stiff arm there and picks up another 10 yards to the Mustang 40-yard line. So the Mustangs are able to rebound off of that weird 12 men on the field call, pick up a first down, tight 4 receiver set, man in motion from left to right into trips right. Whitney back to pass. He throws it over the middle, and unable to come up with that diving catch is Kian Tofini. He's had 3 nice diving catches so far this game. A tight trips left. Shotgun formation. Whitney back to pass. He is going to be wrapped up and sacked. Taken down at the Mustang 30. So it's going to be 3rd down and very long for the Mustangs, as quarterback Whitney hands the ball off, this time to Carlisle, and Carlisle with a huge gain picks up a Mustang first down. However, there was a penalty on the play. It was a holding versus the Mustangs. Let's see where they are going to mark it from. That is a spot foul, so let's see where the penalty occurred. So the Mustangs were able to pick up the first down. However, that will pretty much put them right where they started the play after the 10-yard penalty. 3rd and about 15. This time Whitney throws it deep down the middle and completes it to Jackson Fisher. Great job there by Fisher, making a leaping catch and hauling it in for the Mustang first down. 4 receiver set. Whitney takes the snap and kills the clock with 31.8 seconds to go. 4 receiver set. Whitney back to pass. He's going to throw it over the middle, complete it this time to Richard Kick. Good for a couple yards on the play. Mustangs will call timeout here as they try to get some points on the board with 24.8 seconds to go. Man in motion from left to right into a trips right formation. Whitney throws it to his left and completes it along the sideline. This time to Southie, making a nice catch, keeping at least 1 foot in bounds. First down, Mustangs, as they were able to stop the clock on that play. 4 receiver set, Whitney back to pass again, and he completes it again. This time to Tofigi, who's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 13.7 seconds to go. Great last-minute drive so far by the Mustangs. 4 receiver set. Whitney steps up in the pocket, throws it deep down the left-hand side and through the hands of Carlisle, incomplete. See if the Mustangs will get any points on the board here, as this time the Seahawks will call timeout. Thomas Southie warming up on the sideline in case he's needed to attempt a field goal here late in the second quarter with 8.4 seconds to go. Ball on the Mustang 26, or the Seahawk 26-yard line. Man in motion, 4 receiver set. Penalty on the play. Rather, another timeout by the Seahawks. Coach Ballard wanted to see what the Mustangs were going to do. Whitney back to pass. He's throwing it deep down the left-hand side again and completing it, and getting out of bounds is Thomas Southie. So it's going to be a 1st and goal. This should be the last play from the Seahawk 4-yard line. I can't believe the Mustangs are going to go for it. And getting the touchdown is Thomas Southie. A nice throw there by quarterback Whitney on the quick out pattern. So with just a couple seconds to go, the Mustangs are able to score a touchdown here with no time remaining on the clock. Wow, what a call by Coach Morrow. Aggressive call in this Battle of the Beach will give the Mustangs a lead here at halftime as Southie comes on and kicks the extra point. He is knocked down on the play. It appears that it will be a personal foul, roughing the kicker call. However, that will take us to halftime with the Mustangs leading the Seahawks 14-7. Tonight's trivia question, brought to you by Skechers, is: what Redondo alum went on to become a famous musician in the 1980s? To answer tonight's trivia question, log on to the Maricosta High School football players group page on Facebook. First person to answer the question correctly will receive a point. Person with the most points at the end of the season will receive a pair of shoes courtesy of Skechers. Stay tuned, fans, for a special presentation of the 11th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk.
Welcome to the stage, Denise Austin!
I am so happy to be here, everybody. It's such a beautiful day, not too hot, and we're enjoying our walk today. We're all going to get fit for a great cause. And I'm so happy to say I've been here every single year. I'm born and raised here in the South Bay, and I started here, and I love all of you. You're doing such a great thing for our community, and that's what it's all about, helping each other's families right here in our backyard. Born and raised here, I know what it's like to really have a community that cares, and that's what Michael Greenberg does. He cares. Michael Greenberg is the president of Skechers. He's also the co-founder of the Friendship we're so happy and proud that he is here in our community helping all of us begin helping the families that really need our help. And that's what the Friendship Foundation and why you're here for a great cause. It's helping each other. And I'm proud to say that Michael Greenberg is a dear friend of mine. He gives a lot. He started this whole peer-to-peer walk, and it's such an exciting day because we have raised today, this year, over $2 million for all of our community, all the way from El Segundo down to Palos Verdes. So you should be proud of yourselves, all the schools. You did a fantastic job. Remember, get fit because you are worth it. Now I'd love to bring onto the stage the president of Skechers, Michael Greenberg. Woo!
Hey, Denise, hold on a minute. Wait, take a bow, because Denise has supported this walk just like each and every one of you for the last 11 years, huh? And this woman makes coffee nervous. She has so much energy. Love you. So good morning and thank you, weather. Always participates with us on this walk. I gotta say that this is the largest walk of its kind. We're in our 11th year, and what makes this special is each and every one of you have helped us grow from the first walk 11 years ago, 1,200 people, to over 15,000 registered walkers this year. So thank you, thank you. Love, love, love the South Bay community and the 5 cities all coming together, and everything that we do changes the lives of so many children.
Okay, we are now going to begin the walk, what we're all here for. So, are you ready? We'll count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's walk. Have fun, everybody. Have a good time. And then come on back after you touch the beer. Come on back. We got more entertainment. Thank you, everybody, for a successful peer-to-peer walk. Thank you, Skechers, Michael Greenberg, and the Friendship Foundation. Have a good walk, everybody. Love you.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Skowski here with Tommy Lasorda. Tommy, what is your advice for kids growing up?
I think that anybody growing up should realize how important their life is. To get a good education. Education means a great deal. And I tell you something else. We live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Be good, take care of yourself, and remember, you got to believe in yourself.
That's great advice, Tommy. I agree with that completely. Thank you. Welcome back, fans. As we get ready for second half action, I'd like to bring up another one of my favorite Maricosta Redondo memories. Of course, it happened back in 1997 when the Mustangs and the Seahawks met in the semifinals of the playoffs that season. And what made that matchup really memorable was it was a downpour. The game was held at El Camino College, and it was televised on Fox Sports Net. Mustangs were victorious and went on to win their second championship, and this second half is underway. So hopefully the Mustangs and Seahawks will meet up once again in the semifinals this season, as they are in the same division this year. And hopefully the Mustangs will go on to win their fourth championship. The kick is taken this time at the 20-yard line, brought up past the 35. So the roughing the kicker penalty was assessed. Of course, that was on the PAT attempt at the end of the first half. Man in motion. That's Marsh in motion as Whitney hits Tofigi on the left-hand sideline, and he slips forward just past the 50 for a Mustang first down. Mustangs, of course, lead 14-7 on a gutsy call by Coach Morrow at the end of the first half. Handoff goes to Bryce Carlisle. Bryce makes a couple nice nifty moves and is able to slip forward for about a 7-yard gain. Good job there by Carlisle, not giving up and getting that extra yardage. Second and about 3. Whitney back to pass. He throws it incomplete. It was intended for kick. However, Tofigi was right in the vicinity too. Third down, 4 receivers set. Mustangs in shotgun. Seahawks showing blitz. They're bringing it. Mustangs pick it up nicely. Nice little catch and a nice move by Fisher to gain another 5 yards. Again, great job by the Mustang line picking up the blitz by the Seahawks. 4 receivers set. Whitney takes the snap. He throws it to his left, completes it to Southey, who makes another nice move. And we're seeing all kinds of nifty moves so far this second half. First Carlisle, then Fisher, now Southey, as Southey picks up the first down near the Seahawk 20-yard line. And this time Whitney will hand it off to Cage Gagan. It's good to see Cage back in the lineup for the Mustangs after missing a couple games. Second down and about 5 yards to go. Trips right. Whitney hands the ball off again to Gagan. This time he will probably just get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gained a yard on the play. Third down and about 5 yards to go. Trips left, shotgun. Whitney takes the snap. He's throwing it to his right, and there is a penalty flag on the play that was intended for Fisher. And it's going to be pass interference called against the Seahawks, as we see some of the 2009 championship team members on the sideline. Of course, we saw that was Kevin Hopp on the sideline. And that pass is incomplete. Earlier we saw Stuart Sellers from the first championship, and that was, of course, Kevin Hopp from the third championship in 2009. Fisher in at quarterback, the Wildcat. This time the Seahawks are able to swarm him. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like there is a penalty on the play, and it is going to be against the Mustangs. Going to remain second down. It is a holding call versus the Mustangs, so that's a huge blow to the Mustang offense as they were driving deep into Seahawk territory. Whitney back to pass. He completes it once again to Southie, but this time he's not able to make a couple guys miss as he's taken down for a small gain. Third down. Third and goal. Mustangs at the Seahawk 15-yard line. Trips right. Whitney back to pass. He's throwing it deep to the end zone and into the hands of Thomas Southie. Good for a Mustangs touchdown. His second of the night. That was a great job again. Clutch situation here for Whitney. Big third and goal. And Thomas Southie just outleaps the Redondo defender and pulls in his second touchdown of the night, 5th in the last 2 games. Southie on to attempt the extra point, and that is up high straight, and it is good. So the Mustangs extend their lead versus the Seahawks 21-7. Hopefully there'll be many more push-ups on the touchdown board tonight. Southie on to kick it off, and that's a line drive kick taken at the 10-yard line, and bam, what a hit there. Cage Gagan came down. Welcome back, Cage, as he drills the returner and then is able to regain his feet as he knocked the return man back and then make the tackle. What an incredible job by Cage. Big hit, recovers, and then makes the tackle for a loss. Shotgun formation. Webb fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself on the quarterback keeper around the left end, where he's taken down by Carlisle and the Mustang defense. Coach Ray Lee definitely pleased with the effort of his defense so far, as there is a penalty on the play, and it is going to be against the Seahawks, a holding call. So that nice run by Webb will be taken back. Webb back to pass. He throws it over the middle and nearly intercepted by Jaden McDonald. Good coverage by McDonald on that play. Second down and long for the Seahawks. 4 receivers set. Webb in shotgun. And there's another penalty on the play. This time it's going to be a false start versus the Seahawks. So the Seahawk offense is going the wrong way here to start the second half. Webb back to pass. He's going to throw it deep down the left-hand side and broken up by Best. Great job by number 22, Josh Besting, breaking up that play. As we see some of the legendary Mustangs on the sideline. Webb back to pass. He's forced out of the pocket. Here comes Bogdanowicz, and he's going to throw him down for a sack. It's close to a safety. However, they're going to call him down at about the quarter-yard line. Maybe a football length out of the end zone, nearly a safety. Great job there by Bogdanowicz, the senior linebacker, with another big play for the Mustangs. Baker to kick, and this time it's going to be returned by Cale Marsh, who's going to get a nice return all the way to about the Redondo 25-yard line, where the Mustangs will take over with 5:38 to go in the third. Man in motion. The ball goes to the man in motion. He pitches it back to Tofigi, throws it deep to Southie, and that is going to be incomplete. The Seahawks were all over that play. They had 3 DBs covering Thomas Southie. Good job by the Seahawk defense sniffing that one out. as Whitney drops back and completes it this time. This time to Southeast, fighting forward. Uh-oh, the ball is free, and it's going to be recovered by the Seahawks. Tuivai, not to be mistaken with Tavai, recovered it for the Seahawks. Redondo and shotgun. Webb fake. Oh, he does hand the ball off this time, and maybe he should have faked it, as number 21, Neeson, is drilled in the backfield by Weaver. 2nd and 12 for Redondo. They've been going back. Minus yardage pretty much on every play so far this second half. As Webb drops back, he throws it over the middle, and triple coverage is... there was no chance that receiver was going to get that ball, and that will bring up a 3rd down and long situation for the Seahawks. Webb looking to the sideline, trying to figure out any kind of play that will work here. Pretty much nothing has worked this second half. Coach Ray Lee's defense has been stifling. Here comes Bogdanowicz again, forcing Webb out of the pocket, and he is able to complete the pass to John Lynch, the senior receiver. Good job picking up the 1st down for the Seahawks, as the Redondo offense finally is getting going. This time it's Webb on the quarterback keeper, and the ball is out, but the officials are calling him down by contact. So it'll bring up a 2nd and about 5 for the Seahawks, as Webb is throwing now to his left and completes it. So the Seahawks started off slow in the second half. Now the last 3 plays have picked themselves up a couple 1st downs and are starting to get some momentum. Trips right, shotgun. Webb back to pass. He's thinking he's going to take it himself and try to pick up the 1st down, and he does. Picks up about 6 yards. He needed 5, so that will give the Seahawks their 3rd 1st down on this drive. Seahawks changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Redondo and shotgun. Webb drops back. He's going to throw it to his left, and that's going to be pass interference against the Mustangs. So this drive is starting to become pretty impressive, as the Seahawks are now aided by a pass interference call. And this time Webb takes it himself and will gain a couple yards before Dunlap is able to wrap up his legs and take him down. Seahawks in shotgun. Webb throws it out to the left and completes it to Robert Baker. Again, the Seahawk offense is picking up momentum, and Coach Ray Lee is, instructing his defense on. Here comes Dunlap again, and this time Dunlap gets to Webb, his 2nd sack of the night. Great job there by Hank Dunlap, forcing Webb out of the pocket, and then Webb's indecision kind of spun him around and right into Dunlap's hands. As we see, here comes the pressure, forcing Webb out, and then Webb tries to step back maybe and set his feet, but he saw, as soon as he stepped back, he saw Hank Dunlap there, and there was nowhere for Daniel Webb to go except down to the turf, as the Seahawks shift into a punt formation. And let's see if this one will go into the end zone for a touchback. So with 52.9 seconds, again, Seahawks are unable to do the coffin corner kick. as Whitney hands the ball off to Carlisle. It gets around the left end, maybe good for a couple yards on the play. That should bring up a 2nd and about 6 to go for the Mustangs. He's able to fight for about 4 yards on that run. Trips left, man in motion. Into a 4-receiver set. Whitney throws it to his right, and that was intended for a kick. Broken up by the Seahawk defender. Coach Morrow was extremely aggressive in that first half. Let's see how he does here in the second half with his play calling, as the pass goes over Southie's head. However, there was a personal foul. Looks like roughing the passer against the Seahawks. So the Seahawks showing blitz. This time, Whitney was able to get the ball off. It went off of Tofigi's hands and then right through the hands of the Seahawk defender. He might have gotten a pick 6 if he was able to hold on to that. Tight 4-receiver set. Man in motion from left to right into a trips right formation. Whitney drops back. He's forced to step up in the pocket. He throws it straight down the middle, completes it to Richard Kick. Great job there by quarterback Whitney to feel the pressure and make the completion. And that will do it for the third quarter. Tonight's trivia question brought to you by Skechers is, what Redondo alum went on to become a famous musician in the 1980s? To answer tonight's trivia question, log on to the Maricosta Football Players Group page on Facebook. First person to answer the question correctly will receive a point. Person with the most points at the end of the season will receive a pair of shoes, courtesy of longtime Mustang football sponsor Skechers. So as we enter the fourth quarter, the Mustangs have a 14-point lead. We're able to outscore the Seahawks 7-0 in that third quarter, as this time Whitney is just swallowed up by the Seahawk rush. Redondo hasn't had much pressure on Sam Whitney all game, but they brought it that play and were able to throw him back for a huge loss. Seahawks, if they want to get back into this game, need to stop the Mustangs. Tight trips right formation. Whitney back to pass. He's going to roll to his right, throw to his right, and complete it to a wide open Kian Tofigi. I swear he didn't have a man near him for about 15 yards. Incredible to leave Tofigi uncovered, as there is a penalty on the play. You can't get any more wide open than Tofigi was on that play. And as we've seen all season long, Tofigi doesn't need any room to make the catch, as we have a personal foul roughing the passer, so that will hurt the Seahawks. Not only that huge gain for Tofigi, but add 15 more. As Fisher comes in at quarterback, fakes the handoff, takes the ball around the right end, is able to get pretty much back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 2nd and goal situation now from the 9-yard line. Whitney back in at quarterback, man in motion from left to right. Whitney back to pass. This time he's going to throw a slant to the left-hand side, and that's Thomas Southie in for the Mustangs touchdown. His 3rd of the night, his 6th in the last 2 games. Incredible stretch here for both Whitney and Southie, as the Mustangs have done the little out pattern from this in this position all season long. Decide to go for a little slant as the Seahawk defender was defending against the out. So the Mustangs take what they were given, and what they were given was a touchdown. Southie on to kick the extra point. This one is up high straight, and it is good. So another 4 touchdown passes for quarterback Sam Whitney. 3 of them going to Thomas Southey, as both Southey and Whitney are pursuing single-season Mustang records for touchdowns this season. If the Mustangs are able to make a nice run into the playoffs, they both might be able to capture those records. Penalty flags on the return. And this time it will go against the Mustangs for a face mask. So with 9:43, the Seahawks are definitely in a desperate position here. Trailing by 21 points, Mustangs with the delayed blitz by Bogdanowicz, forcing Webb to just throw it out of bounds. Great job on the delayed blitz call there by Coach Ray Lee. He's been making all the right defensive calls so far this evening. The former Redondo alum coming back to bite his team. Just kind of like the former Costa alum over at Palos Verdes, Guy Gardner, securing Palos Verdes' 8th straight championship. As the ball is popped loose, it looked like Tavai punched it out. Carlisle picks it up on the 1 bounce and goes the distance for a Mustang touchdown. Wow, what a play there. Great job by this Mustang defense. This time they're able to put points on the board. Let's take another look at this play. As Webb fakes the handoff, goes into the line, and it appears that it was Jagger Tavai that might have knocked that ball loose, and then Bryce Carlisle gets the nice bounce to pick it up on the 1 hop and go the distance. Thomas Southey on to kick the extra point. High snap. Tofigi gets it down, and Southey kicks it through, so the Mustangs extend their lead to 35-7, and it's starting to look like the Mustangs will be securing second place and retaining that surfboard in here in the Battle of the Beach. Coach Ray Lee instructing his defense. Doesn't want to allow Redondo to get back into this contest. That was a hold call against the Seahawks on the return, so that will march them back. Coach Morrow definitely pleased with tonight's performance too on both sides of the ball. That pass is complete and taken down by Charlie Kohler. However, that will be enough for a first down. And the pass is completed and knocked out of bounds by Bestie. So Coach Morrow looking to extend his record versus the Seahawks to 19-7-1. As the Mustangs are rolling here in the 4th quarter. Second down for the Seahawks. Again, this is a very important game for CIF Division 6 seeding, as both teams entered tonight's contest with the same record, same league records, and of course are in the same division. This time Webb completes it out to the right, and that was caught by Anthony Talley before he was dragged out of bounds. Seahawks are definitely in a desperate situation here. Trips left. Webb back to pass. He's throwing it deep to the left-hand side, and that ball was nearly intercepted. Josh Best on the coverage nearly picked that one off. Trips left shotgun. Webb back to pass. He's looking middle, throws middle, and completes it to number 5, Drew Wilson, the senior tight end. Hasn't had too many balls thrown his way so far this night. The Mustang defensive backfield has kept him in check. Trips left shotgun. Wilson throws. Mustangs were showing blitz, and Fisher throws down Baker after that play. A much smaller Fisher threw Baker around like a rag doll at the end of that play. Trips left again. This time it's incomplete, knocked free by number 21, Zane Thormasgaard. Of course, Zane has had a couple fumble recoveries for touchdowns this season in week 3 versus Mayfair. Fumble recovery, and then he recovered the blocked punt versus Lusinger, as this time Webb rolls to his left and completes it to Talley once again. Talley's probably been the most effective receiver for the Seahawks tonight. 4th and about 3, trips right. Webb rolling right, he's throwing right, he's going for the end zone and making an incredible catch is, of course, number 3, Anthony Talley. Just as I was talking about him, he shows that he is indeed the top receiver for the Seahawks. He was well covered on that play, but the ball was thrown in a position only Talley could get to as he dove into the end zone. So the Seahawks cut into that Mustang lead. Here comes the onside kick. It's going to be recovered by Brett McCall. McCall with the recovery for the Mustangs. So with 6 minutes and 26 seconds to go, Mustangs just looking to run this clock. Keep that clock running. Don't go out of bounds. Pick up a couple first downs and finish off the Seahawks, and then wait to see where we're going to be playing next week. Might be here at Waller Stadium, but being a second place team in your league doesn't necessarily guarantee a home playoff game, as Carlisle fights to stay in bounds, bringing up a 3rd down and about 5 to go. The clock is running. The Mustangs looking to take this edition of the Battle of the Beach, make it 2 straight victories for the Mustangs. Whitney back to pass. He completes it over the middle. Nice little pattern there ran by number 32, Cale Marsh. The sophomore hasn't had too much of a presence so far this game, but he has picked up a couple first downs. And timeout on the field. Seahawks again desperate to get a turnover. 4 receiver set. 4th down situation. Whitney shifts into a punt formation and will do the little pooch punt. The Seahawks have been trying this all night, and it's been going into the end zone. This time the Mustangs go for it with Whitney, and he's able to get it inside the 20, so definitely a better job done by Whitney than Webb, as Webb will roll to his right, throw, and the closest one to that was Charlie Kohler. Second closest was Jaden McDonald. No Seahawk in the vicinity. Redondo and shotgun. And that's number 10, Alex Wonderly, in at quarterback for the Seahawks. And I wonder if Webb has been taken out due to injury or just getting Wonderly some work here late in the game, as this game is pretty much going to be out of reach. Little screen pass blown up by the Mustang defense. There was no one there. I mean, even Jagger Tavai was right there reading that one. As Jagger's a little slow to get up, hopefully he'll be okay. As he comes off the field now, the freshman, the only one of the Tavai brothers to play is on the varsity squad his freshman year, the last of the Tavai brothers. Of course, you had Jordan Tavai playing at Kansas, then J.R. Tavai, a little fake punt. And that will get the first down. There wasn't really too much of a fake there with fourth down in this situation. However, Seahawks are able to convert it. Like I was mentioning, the Tavai brothers, you had Jordan play at Kansas, JR at USC, Jelani at Hawaii, Justice is currently playing at Hawaii, and Jonah is currently playing at San Diego State. So all of the Tavai boys have so far played Division I college football, and that pass is incomplete. No penalty on the play. J.R. Tavai is currently playing for the Ottawa Red Blacks in the Canadian Football League, and Jelani Tavai is playing for the Detroit Lions in the NFL. Passes over the middle and complete to Nielsen, taken down by Weaver on the play, and held up, trying to, again, keep that clock running. That's all the Mustangs are interested now. They'll give up yardage. They would rather have a completion now for a gain than an incompletion, which would stop the clock. Wonderly throws to the middle, incomplete, intended for Lynch. That will stop the clock. So quarterback Sam Whitney, an impressive season so far, trying to pursue Kevin Cooper's single season touchdown record, and that ball is deflected down once again. That's 5 deflections, I believe, so far this game. As Whitney comes in, hands the ball off, this time to Carlisle right up the middle. Again, Mustangs just looking to run that clock out. As we get under 2 minutes to go here in the final week of the regular season, Mustangs seniors definitely happy with the results of their last home regular season game, as senior Carlisle runs the ball up the middle once again, getting about to the 26-yard line. That will pick up another first down, and that pretty much should do it. Mustangs should be able to run this clock out now. Whitney's going to hand the ball off to Personius. Luke Personius on the carry, and that will do it. The Mustangs will defeat the Seahawks 35-14 in the 2019 Battle of the Beach. Mustangs retain the surfboard for the second straight year, and the Mustangs will take second place in the Bay League, with the Seahawks taking third. And we'll see Sunday where the Mustangs and the Seahawks will end up in the playoffs. Again, a great season here for the Mustangs, going 7-3 on the regular season, defeating their arch rival Redondo Seahawks and making it to the playoffs. Next week, the Mustangs will be playing in the first round of the Division VI playoffs. We'll find out Sunday afternoon who the opponent will be and where it will be. So until then, we'll see you next week.
We fought very hard in practice. We fought very hard in practice. We just grind out today. That's why the scoreboard looked like that.
throughout the game, you know, it was tiring. You know, these guys are our rivals. They came out strong, 100%, 110%. But we came out stronger, and that's how it was for the rest of the game.
Nothing feels sweeter than the way we performed today. You know, we've been looking forward to this game for forever. And we already knew we were going to come out hitting. We already knew we were going to be disciplined. It's the best game. It's the best game of the year. It's the best feeling in the world. We played the hardest we could.
Oh, I liked it so much. It was so much fun. You know, it felt really close in the first quarter, but I think as soon as we got a rhythm going, it's just a fun game. Just back and forth, even through the struggle and everything. It's just a good time.
You know, it's great momentum for next week for playoffs. So, crunch time, baby, crunch time. Got good momentum going into next week, so we're looking forward to it.
We've just been hyping up this contest the entire year. We're excited to play them every year. We just executed, and then next week for the playoffs, we're just gonna get prepared, see what our seed is, who we're playing,